Hey guys, so I have been away from my Tesla studio and garage at my home in Tucson, Arizona. So I'm in the Pacific Northwest and I'm in a temporary place for now. So since I don't have the Tesla studio, I've got this for my backdrop, the Megan Gale Chasing Sunsets calendar. So anyway, just want to introduce this next video. I've been doing a lot of meetups. I've met a lot of people from the Tesla community and also Tesla enthusiasts who don't have a Tesla, but just some awesome people. I did my big road trip. I met something like around 50 people, I think, from the Twitter Tesla community, and I met them in real life. So I like to highlight some great work and some awesome people within the community. And that's what this video is. This video is about somebody who's doing some amazing work rescuing dogs. And just want to share this with you. All right, here we go. Going off road. So sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
It just
We're
struck
just colder.
Me. Take two.
Take two.
I'm an idiot. I forgot to turn the mic on. Okay, so it's cold here. I'm in Bend, Oregon. It's like, last time I looked, it was 28 degrees. We're cold. We just did this interview without the mic, and now I just turned the mic on, so we're starting over.
Hands are cold.
Anyway, I came to Bend. I got to meet Marianne Cox, who was also highlighted by Dogs of Tesla. You guys probably know Dogs of Tesla in the Twitter community, or the Twitter Tesla community. So anyway, I got to meet her and what she's doing, and her dog Frank, who's on that post I'll share here in the video. So, can you tell me what you're doing with Street Dog Hero and what that's about?
Street Dog Hero is a rescue I started about 3 years in March, and so I started in 2017, and I wanted to just save street dogs, and I did it, and to date I've rescued almost 800 dogs, rehomed them, and besides that I also do outreach locally in the United States, and I go into other countries and talk about spay and neutering, vaccinations, just properly how to care for the dogs. So I'm making a difference worldwide, which is really exciting.
And so, like, you go into the schools as well, or the children with education programs.
Yep.
Can you
so
tell us about that?
I have 2 young kids that are actively involved in my rescue, and they travel with me to Mexico a lot. And I have a Junior Hero program here in Bend and in Portland.
In Junior Hero, they get like a
Junior Hero.
A certification or a badge
No,
or something that says they're a Junior
they
Hero?
get a Street Dog Hero hat, Street Dog Hero shirt, and they're just part of a club, and they do my fundraisers, my events. They help me whenever I need help. They're my extra talkers, and little kids love to talk and show off dogs. So
these are kids who went through that training.
They don't even go through training. They just sign up.
Okay.
Because they love dogs.
Yeah.
Oh, the sun's coming out.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it's just kids that want to be involved. And I have a lot of kids that want to be involved because it's fun. And so I'm starting this in Mexico because when I go to Mexico, it's just me and a few volunteers. We don't speak very good Spanish, if not at all. So outreach is difficult. So I'm implementing the Junior Hero program in the schools in Mexico.
Okay.
I specifically work the towns. And they get the shirt and hat, and the logo's becoming like kind of a brand down there, and they help with outreach and spreading the word of when we're coming down. We're doing clinics to bring your dogs to get sterilized and vaccinated and flea and tick treatments.
Right.
Yeah.
And as far as the teaching you do, what are you teaching the kids specifically?
For down there in Mexico, I'm specifically starting with pretty much proper dog care, because dogs down there don't get their nails clipped, don't get their ears cleaned, they're covered in fleas and ticks. The long-haired dogs are matted so bad. So it's just proper care. And the most important thing is how to stop all the puppies from being born, because every female pretty much has a litter of puppies every single cycle.
Right.
And a lot of those puppies don't make it for various reasons. So spay and neutering is my big goal of educating them, but it starts with proper just how to care and love your dog and treat it like it should be treated.
Right.
Like how we treat our dogs.
And what sets you apart is that you're not just doing the rescue work, you're doing education, especially with children, because children are the future.
Yep.
And so starting with them, it will make a change in the future.
Yep.
And they will carry on and start.
Yep. No, it's important. Like I started this rescue just wanting to rescue the dogs, but then it became more than that when I started traveling and seeing just how bad it is. Like it's one thing to rescue a couple hundred, but it's one thing to make a difference for the future, and actually make an impact in this world and change their lives, forever. So it's a big thing for me I'm more passionate about the education and making the difference long term than just, even though I love these guys and these families that adopt these dogs, love them and their stories, because they all have stories, right? Their stories get shared and they're also helping street dog raise awareness just by telling their stories. But yeah.
So is there a moment that kind of was powerful that made you want to do this? Was there something, that one event that you remember?
Yeah, my one event. It was by 23 years ago. I was with my husband in Mexico for the first time right out of college, and I saw my first street dog. It was my first time out of the country.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even it was a street dog, but as a tourist, you see the street dogs running down the, highways, and you feed them, and you're like, and that's what I saw. And from that day, 20 years, I'm like, honey, or my husband, I'm like, I just want to save one of those street dogs.
Yeah.
And then 3 years ago, I said, I'm going to do it. But now that I'm involved, those dogs that you see as tourists are not the ones that need saving. Those are the ones that are fine. They do get hit by cars, but it's the ones you don't see that I'm saving.
And can you tell us about Frank here?
Yeah, so besides street dogs, I also save dogs from meat farms, and that's a whole other conversation, but from Asia, so from South Korea, China. He's from South Korea. He has his own Instagram handle, Frank from South Korea. So he is from a meat truck. He was saved, I have tons of pictures of him, but he's one of the lucky ones.
Okay, I'll put a link on there so you can see Frank as well.
You can see Frank.
Yeah. So, and the other thing that we need to touch on, we didn't talk about this time around, we did the other time, the people who travel. You have some people who travel and they help bring dogs back from all over the world. So,
so people always ask how I get the dogs from, all over to mainly the Pacific Northwest, because that's where I am. So we have dogs flying to Seattle, Portland, and Bend. Seattle and Portland are our main hubs, and I have volunteers there, but if people travel to Mexico or by chance South Korea, China, India, Puerto Rico, Albania, the list goes on, you contact me and say, hey, I'm traveling on vacation or work, can I fly home a dog for you? And I'm like, absolutely. It's super easy. Street Dog Hero pays for everything. I promise it's seamless. You go to your airport where you're departing. My rescue partners meet you with the dog, the paperwork, and we're all in conversation all the time. When you go through customs, when you enter back in the United States, you show the paperwork. They let you through, and then when you land at your final destination, our fosters and volunteers meet you with the dog. We get pictures, we hug. It's really, really cool. Yeah.
Cool. So if you're traveling out of the country, get in touch with Street Dog Hero, see if you can bring a dog back.
And even in the United States, we rescue dogs in the United States too. I didn't touch this, but I do save dogs from kill shelters as well. I do it all. I tried just to do street dogs, but I have a hard time saying no when people say, "Can you please help us?" I'm like, yes.
Right.
So even in the United States and in Oregon, we've rescued dogs that need help. So
and street dogs are typically dogs that have always been on the street. born on
Yeah,
the street.
yeah, yeah.
Never really had a home.
Yeah, so it's kind of fun when they first get here. I'm foster based, so I'll go into foster homes, which is actually a blessing because these dogs could never be in a shelter environment. But it's always fun to hear the fosters or families that adopt them talk about their experience, because they've never climbed stairs, they've never seen a TV, they've never had a bed, they've never had a bowl of food. They don't come straight off the street. They are rescued. And every rescue is different. Some have fosters, some have shelters, some have independent. It's all different, right? But the majority of them haven't. And it's Mexico, so they don't have a house with, it's not like here where we're cold right now. We go inside. So it's fun to see them experience all these things for the first time and embrace it and love it and be like, I do not want to, it's really cool.
And people down there, in my experience anyway, in South America, even if they have a dog, they usually have it for protection around the property. They let it run around in the streets, whatever, and they leave food outside the front, and the dogs hardly ever come inside the house. They'll have like a little gated area right in the front door, and they'll have the dog in there during the night, and then runs around a lot during the day, whatever.
So dogs in other countries, specifically South America and Mexico, they have dogs, but again, they're not like fenced or electric fences, and they live on the street, and they get their food. If they get fed by their families, that's huge. Otherwise, they're just scrounging for whatever food they can get. And most of the dogs that we get, 90% of them have missing teeth, broken teeth, because they're just trying to get food wherever they can, right? So that's always something I'm dealing with when they come here is, how bad are their teeth? How do we make them feel better?
How can people support you?
Oh, yes. If you want to follow Street Dog Hero, we have Instagram and Facebook, and of course my website's www.streetdoghero.org. And we, if you're in the Pacific Northwest or Seattle, Portland area, Central Oregon, we're always looking for fosters. We can't do this without fosters. They need a place to come. And then since we're a nonprofit, donations are always huge. It's a lot of money to save these dogs, to fly them, to vet them, and then to go in other countries and actually set up the spay and neuter clinics. It's a lot of work. I wouldn't change it for the world. I'm so glad I took that leap of faith and did it. And then another thing we need always are we do travel to Mexico. We always need leashes, collars, and flea and tick meds. Leashes and collars are great. It doesn't matter to us. We bring them down and we literally pass them out to all the families. Every dog that comes into our clinic either doesn't have a leash or it's a chain, and some are even embedded in their necks.
Right. I've seen that.
It's sad. So every single dog leaves our clinic with a new leash and a new collar, and it's like Christmas for those families. They are so excited. And it's one more way of educating, and making them feel like their dog's more part of their family. And of course, flea and tick meds, because all the dogs are covered in. We pick a lot of ticks and fleas off the dogs. So those are things we always need donated as well.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you, Wade.
It's a great story. I'm glad to be able to get this out and share it. I'll put all the social media links on there so everyone can find it no matter which social media you use. It should be on there somewhere.
Yeah, thanks everybody.
All right, thank you.